Good morning. My name is Tammy, and I'd like to welcome you to Tammy's Stitches. Greetings from Maine, everybody. This is FlossTube 132, and today is March 6th, 2026. And I would like to thank any and all new subscribers that have liked, subscribed, and done all the YouTubey things. Thank you so very much. If you are a regular here, thank you so much for coming back every week. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'm coming to you from a rather messy day. We had snow again this morning. School has been canceled, so my daughter's home. She's got a 3-day weekend, and it's just, it's March. Come on. It's get on with the Marchness, right? You know, daffodils, St. Patrick's Day, all that good spring, you know, all that good stuff. Not that I'm looking forward to summer, because summer is my least favorite. Only because it's hot and it's gross and it's I don't like it. Spring, the weather's nice. You can open windows. You can, you know, enjoy a breeze here and there. I can actually go out and sit on my patio and enjoy myself. But in the summertime, it's really not feasible. So, let's get started, shall we? I would like to take the time to say I got another finish. I finished this on Tuesday. And I'm really, or Monday, I don't remember. But this is the Hare and Pumpkins. I started this for Stitching by the Shore's pumpkin birthday sale, and I started 2, and the other one I have not finished yet, but I'm going to pick that one up next, or finish Hare and the Acorns. This is Hare and Pumpkins. It took 661 stitches to finish it, because I had to finish the hare part, and I had to put this down here, finish the pumpkin, and then put the little green line down, plus I needed to backstitch. And what I did with the backstitch was I counted everything up as 1 stitch and then divided it by 2, and that gave me a backstitch number. This is done on an 18 count, I do believe it's Hazelwood from Forbidden Fiber Company, Fabrics of the Month. I did change the color, which I don't normally do, and this big pumpkin here and all the gourds here and a few of the smaller pumpkins, instead of using 3853, I think I used I don't remember the number now, but it was DMC Variations. So this one is down in the books. So what I'm going to do, so I don't forget it, is I already put this on the back of my finishes for 2026. So I did finish it on Monday. So that's number 7. And I had it written number 16 right here. This is Hare and Pumpkins. So what we're going to do is we are going to redact it, so to speak. So Hare and Pumpkins right there. So what I'm hoping for is at the end of 2026, I have most of this redacted. Not worrying about new ones and not, worried about all that, but I'm hoping to get this all redacted, or at least a good portion of it redacted. The other one I started for Stitching by the Shore's Birthday's Out was Candy Corn and Pumpkin. So, but yeah, so here we go. So my goal for 2026 is to attempt to get at least 26 finishes. If I get more than that, awesome. Because last year I didn't do so good. So, okay, there's that. Now, the next thing is I had 2 starts. The first one is Cottage Garden Samplings, The Lighthouse. Fabulous House Series number 8. Now, when I ordered this, I ordered it to have with all the called for colors, called for flosses. What I didn't do was have the fabric put in and all that, just the called for flosses and the chart. And I normally make a working copy, but this thing is huge, so I didn't have a chance. So I'm just going with it. Now I'm doing this on a To Die For fabric 18 count Thundercloud. So I started this on February 27th, 2026, using all the called for floss. My goal was 5,000. It's a paper pattern, so I'm not sure how many stitches are in it, but I've completed 2,000, so that gives me 4,800 left to go. And this fabric is just absolutely amazing. And the white just pops on that. So there is that. That's the left-hand corner. So this right here signifies the middle. Close to the middle, I think. No, it signifies the middle. And then this right here is part of the light. So I can pretty much go anywhere I want to now, but I'm going to stick with the light for now. Okay. And I even got the specialty floss that they called for, which is Cauldron. And it looks like it's kind of a grayish purple. I've worked with Cauldron before. I like it. So I'm going to leave this out, and I want to get at least 2 to 4 more hundred on this. Now, it has been a Cottage Garden Samplings weekend, is what happened. I went and went through all of this. I need to find the one that I'm looking for. I have these all in the same bag because I am trying to keep them all together. So this is The Witch by Cottage Garden Samplings, and I do believe I have the marmalade that goes into pumpkins. Yes. I think I'm missing a color, so I've ordered it and I hope it's coming in too. But if it's already in. Cool, because I got a couple orders in this week. Can't remember when I ordered it. Excuse me, but here it is. And I am doing this on... I started this on February 28th, 2026. I'm stitching it on an 18 vintage French country mocha, and I'm using the called for floss. Like I said, 5,000 stitch goal. I have completed 200 stitches. So I got this part of the vine done, and then I worked on the little raven, crow, whatever it is. And at the end of this, there's supposed to be a flower, but there's a green part, and I haven't gotten that green yet. So there it is. It's beautiful. And I'm going to try to pull these out monthly. Start a few, work on a few, so on and so forth. Because I really want to get them done, and the only way I'm going to get them done is if I work on them. So that was the witch, and the witch was for the letter W as well. I figured, what the heck, just started a day early. The next one I worked on was the pirate, and I'm going to have to do some frogging with this one because I'm not sure where I screwed up, but I screwed up somewhere on the vest or the jacket. This is the pirate. This is also by Cottage Garden Samplings, and I started the pirate on July 30th, 2025. I'm stitching it on an 18 count vintage French country mocha, and I'm using the called for DMC. And I tried to even it up. I did a little bit. I got 149 stitches because I had to figure out what I did wrong. And here is the pirate. I'm wrong in this area here somewhere, but I got some of this jacket done, and I got some more of the flagpole done. Put in a couple of snowflakes, as you can see right there. There's 3 of them, and I am at 680 out of 3,000. Probably could have upped the goal a little bit, but it's okay. So I'm gonna haul this out again at some point and try to figure out where I went wrong. Alright, the next one that I worked on was the Pilgrim. Yes, I did. I've done the Pilgrim. And I started the Pilgrim on October 5th, 2025, stitching this on an 18 count vintage French country mocha using the called for DMC. My grand total is 5,000, and I have completed 600 stitches, and I am at 4,400. And I worked on his hat, and I do believe a few snowflakes here and there. So I'm going to try to finish up his hat, work on his face next time I pull this out. And this was so much fun. It really was. It took 273 stitches to even it up. And that's that. And then the last one that I worked on is one of my all-time favorites. And that is the shepherd. I didn't get as far on this as I wanted to, but that's okay. I evened it up, and this was for the letter S. So, here we go. This is the shepherd, and I started this on June 28th, 2025. I'm doing it on an 18 count vintage French country mocha. I'm using the Cloak for DMC. My goal is 5,000. I gotten done 500 stitches, and I am at 4,500. And there it is. So I finished the little barn here. Finished that, and then I started on the hat. So I'm going to continue to work on his hat and work my way down. I really wanted to get in one of the sheep, but yeah, you know. So here it is. I definitely want to work on this one again soon because I absolutely love it. I love the sweater, the vest, the hat, and of course I love the sheep too. We will be working on that again. And like I said, they're all in the same bag. I'm using all the same colors pretty much for everything. And I'm just gonna go with it. There's that. Alright, the next thing I worked on was my Thanksgiving room. This might take me a minute to find, I'm sorry. Okay, where are you? Here's the Thanksgiving Day gnome. And not only did I even it up, which is what I wanted to do, because I was at 610 stitches complete, so I need to even it up. And I got in 390. And here it is. I worked on the hat. As you can see, I filled in quite a bit. So I am at 1,000 stitches on this. My goal is 2,500. So I have 1,500 left to go. There's 5,403 stitches and I have completed 1,000, so I am at 18.51%. So here she is. Okay. So this will be definitely getting hauled out again for Gnome though. Just put that there for now. The next thing I worked on Come on, where are you? Way down at the bottom. Right there. I worked on my St. Patrick's Day frog stamp. This is from Vibes. No. Yeah, I think it is from Vibes. I'm not sure. Hold on. Yes. I started this on February 22nd, 2026. Been using the called for DMC. I'm stitching this on an 18 count French country mocha, and my goal is to finish it. I put in 200 stitches, which gives me a grand total of 700 for this particular one. Now, where I'm doing these separately, I'm not really, when I get this one finished, I'm going to take the number that it took me to finish it, and it should already be subtracted from the total amount to finish the whole thing. So on the next one, I will put the minus these, the total amount, and we'll just keep the percentage the way it is. So this is this, and this has a grand total of 7,825 stitches. I've completed 700, and I am at 8.95%. So I finished part of the frog face. I put in the other eye. I started working on the border again. So what I'm doing is I'm working on the border, well, doing a little bit of the frog, taking a break, working on the border. More frog, border. I'm hoping to get the border done soon. So there it is. I think he's very cute, sticking his tongue out. So, yes, I got 200 stitches on that one. Okay, the next thing I worked on, and where these are in the same bag, it just seems to be the logical thing to do, is I worked on my the autumn stamp fox, the fox. And here he is. This is the fox. I started this on, or restarted on February 26th, 2026. Stitching this on an 18 count field spar by Forbidden Fiber Company's Fiber of the Month. and I'm using the called for DMC. My goal is to finish the stamp, and same idea with the frog, because there's 17,749 stitches. I have completed 400 and I am at 2.25%. So I'm starting to fill in the stamp. And then when I get to down here where these two meet, I'll do some more border, and then I'll finish up the border, the other half of the border, and then finish the rest of it. So this whole stamp is full coverage. It's just small. So there's that. Like I said, where these are both in the same bag, it just seems very logical to work on them both at the same time. I'd like to get my frog finished by St. Patrick's Day. The autumn, I'm really not that worried about. Okay, so the autumn stamp I put in 200 stitches. The next thing I wrote down being all the digital ones. So I have dove head first into the letter W, because I seem to have quite a few things, believe it or not, that start with the letter W. But they're mostly Halloween. But you know what? That's okay. That is definitely okay. Why do I have a feeling you missed it? Because I did. Ah, there it is. This is Witch in the Woods. This is by Cloak, I believe. It's very few colors. This is nice. Yes, it is by Cloak. I started this on January 28th, 2026, and I'm doing it on a 20 count Easy Guide Ada. I'm using the call for DMC. My goal is 5,000. Out of 40,000 stitches, I have completed 850, and I am at 2.12%. Here it is. You can see I added a little bit more tree here. I did 250 stitches for the letter W. I have time to work on this again in March. Excuse me. So, here it is. It's so cool. I actually like working on this one. So. I'm missing one, but I'll go and get it. The next one I did, and I wanted to even things up, was Jardin Prive's Winter Quaker. And I didn't get very much, I didn't have very much of this done. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to have to change some blues around, maybe add a couple of blues just to make it look different. Well, I am definitely going to do that. It may not look the best, but I'm liking it the way it is. So, this is Winter Quaker by Jardin Prive. I started this on July 17th, 2025. Stitching this on an 18 count grit dyed Ada that I did myself, so per word. And so far I'm using anchor 0176 and 0162. My goal is 3,000. I put in 255 to even it up, and it's also for the letter W. So here's where we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the top with the light blue. And then with all the big motifs in this, like this one here, this one over here, and this one here, and this one here, and the flowers over here are going to be in the anchor 0162. And then for the like the snowman and the snowflakes, view of the trees, maybe one of the houses, I'm going to put in $800. And if I decide to put in more blue, I will. The only reason why I'm doing it this way is because I only have one spool of this color, and you can't get anchor as readily anymore since they got sold. I don't know if it's on 123 stitch. I should check. But I think I'm liking this idea with the 3 colors. Maybe 4. I don't know. Let's see. There it is. I didn't do this with the other ones, and I don't want to do it with the other ones because I kind of like this one. I want this one to be very different. So there's no sense in doing everything all the same. The one I'm working on later on, or I started last night that I didn't get a chance to finish, is I'm going to even up the Autumn Quaker by Jardin Prive. Okay, I gotta go see if I can find my last one, and I will be right back. Hi, back. This is my last one. This is QS Bad Hair Day, the artwork from Lisa Victoria, and charted by Hade. I can't put this one down, but I think I will be able to after this week. I don't know, we'll see. I started this on February 10th, 2026, and I'm stitching this on a 20 count Easy Guide Ada. Excuse me. 1/1. I'm using the color for DMC. My goal is 5,000. There is 42,875 stitches, and I have completed 1,500 stitches, and I am at 3.50%. I did 900 stitches this week on this. Yeah. So here we are. Look at that. It's amazing. It's just amazing. The colors are absolutely gorgeous. This is just, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. There's nothing to really see yet except background, which is fine. I have no problem with that. But right now, it's wonderful. So I don't know if I'm going to work on this weekend. I might maybe get it up to 18, maybe 2100. I don't know. We'll see. Just take it one day at a time with this one, I guess. I don't know. As you can tell, I did not do spooky season this week because I just had enough. I really did. I loved it, and I loved working on it, but I don't want to get bored with this one. Not really bored, but sick of this one. And this is evened up as far as I'm concerned, so, you know, there are certain things that aren't, so I have other ones that aren't evened up yet, so I'd like to get those done, plus work on some of my W's. So, Bad Hair Day got in 900 stitches. Yeah. Okay. I did print out a couple of things. I'm just gonna, there's no real picture of this one, so I'm just gonna show it from afar. This is a Spring Quaker, or no, Spring Sampler. I'm going to start that on the 19th. I have Hair and Daisies. You know, so I have Hair and Shamrocks, and I have Hair and Daffodil. And then I'll show this one. This is from Cross Stitch Verbena, and I have a few others of hers. This is Old Raven, and I've had this for a while. I just, have decided to put some of them off. So I'm definitely working on some of my non-full coverages with odd numbers. I have some full coverages that I need to do the same thing, but right now, how did I do on plans last time? Oh yes, I will be, after I get this downloaded, well, recorded and started to download, I'm going to pull out my wizard gnomes from, well, I'm not pulling it out, but I'm going to be starting my wizard gnomes from Soda Stitch Designs today with my friend Sally, and my friend Lucy is joining us, thank goodness. And whoever else wants to join in, that's fine, as long as it's a gnome, we're good. My gnome go, I did my Thanksgiving, and I'm starting my wizard gnome, so that's considered one of them, and then I need to work on the turkey and the But First Tea. I'm working on my W's. I'm working on any St. Patrick's Day projects, so let's go for plans and goals for this week. I worked on my St. Patrick's frog, and I did order some more vintage French country mocha. I like it. So plans / goals. Alright, so start wizard gnomes. And the wizard gnomes from Soda Stitch Designs, they're very Harry Potter-esque. So that's part of the reason why they're doing them. We also have Game of Gnomes, which is Game of Thrones. I don't have it, but that doesn't mean that I can't get it. And there's also, I don't know if there's a Wizard of Oz or Alice in Wonderland. I don't know, but they do have another one that goes with a different movie, I think. Oh, I think it's Star Wars, like, I think. I'm not all entirely sure. Then I'm going to continue with letter W. And then continue with number. Okay, what am I going to work on for full coverage this week? I don't know. I have one that's kind of yelling at me because not only does it need to get evened up, but it is a smaller one that I haven't worked on in a while. And I have two of those. I have 3 cheers and I have Nocturnal Messenger. So I don't know, I might do something completely different. I do want to work on my haunted library. And I do have a picture of it. It's not a very good one, but I do have one. And I also have a picture of my Nocturnal Messenger. I do not have a picture of 3 cheers because the person who designed that particular one is no longer on Etsy. Do I want to start another new full coverage? Not right yet. I do and I don't. I'm not sure if I want to right yet, but I'm thinking possibly. Or possibly just work on one like I did this past week. You know, work on it on Monday, because that was also part of my connections. Or maybe just work on something that, you know, isn't a full coverage, like this one. This is The Haunted Library by Lola Crow. It's a sal that's over with. And what I'd like to do is try and get this side of the bookshelf completed. Don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'll figure that out when I get there. And then the other one, this is the Nocturnal Messenger. And I think this is by Luthien Arts. I'm not quite sure. But, you know, and it's not a very big one. It's very skinny. Not very, I'm all the way across to a corner, so I don't know. What else do I want to work on? No. Is this it? Yes. This is the Haunted Library, I believe. Yes. And I started this on October 2nd, 2025. And I put this on a Fiber on a Whim 20 count heather. And I'm using the Cloak for DMC. And I do need to even this out, so that's a plus. My goal is 8,000. There is 16,895 stitches. I have completed 270, and I am at 2.78. So if I could get a good 230 stitches in this, maybe more, that would bring me up. So, and it would even me out. So there's, doesn't look like 470 stitches, but it is. And I like this fiber on a whim because it comes in 20 count. I love to dye for fabrics, but it doesn't have a 20 count. It only has, I think it might have a 22. I'm not all entirely sure, but I do know, I think they have 25, 32, 36, and 40. Okay. And then I would like to finish hair and acorns, so I can start another one of my little hairs. And oops, hold on. I started this one on September 5th, 2025. I'm stitching this on an 18 count jade from Pictures Plus. I'm using the Cloak for DMC, and I still need to even this up. The goal is to finish it. But I am at 870 stitches complete. And there's no real back stitching in this one, which is good. I don't think so. I don't really care for back stitching. Oh yeah, there is. On the acorn tops. The caps of the acorns. So, this is what it looks like. So one more leaf in the gold color to finish. I have 3 leaves in the brown color to finish. I need to finish the hair, and then I need to do the bottom line, and then put the acorns, and then back stitch the caps. So, not a big fan of back stitching, but I'm going to do the same thing I did with the pumpkins, and count the back stitches as 1 stitch and then divide it by 2. So say there's 100 back stitches. Since they're only a half stitch, divide that by 2 and that gives you 50. So I kept the math easy, sorry. Not implying that anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about. This is another one that I'd like to finish, and it also starts with a W. This is the Witch Sampler by Cross Stitch Robina. I started this on August 9th, 2025. I'm doing this on an 18 count oaken from Pictures Plus, and I'm using Dying for Sass shades of black and Dying for Sass Bat Tears. My goal is to finish it, and this does also need to be evened up because I am at 376 stitches completed. So I have to even that up as well. I don't have a picture for that, all I have is a pattern. And then what else do I need to? Oh! This one definitely needs some love. This is Wanderling Teacups by Pixie Stitch. And this has been around for a while. I started this on January 25th, 2023. I'm using a 14 count Peach Blossom, which at the time was the Forbidden Fiber Fabric of the Month. until I change it to 18. I'm using the call for DMC. My goal is to finish it because it's past the 400 goal, and I am at 909. So it does need an evening up job, and it definitely needs to get finished because it's been hanging around for 3 years. So maybe this one will be my weekly to try to get maybe 200 to 400 stitches a day. I don't know. On Monday we'll find out. Find out what it is. So, either that or I could just work on it this weekend and get maybe 1,000 stitches in. I don't know. We'll see. So there is that. What else do we have in here? Oh, this is henpecked. This one is going to be my 250th birthday for the United States piece. Because the colors in this go with the colors in my dining area now, with the border. I have a couple white chickens. I have a dark colored chicken that has the same kind of spots on it as this. We have what looks like a daisy, and we have a couple other those poinsettia looking ones. So maybe this one. Started this on January 17th, 2026, and I started working on letter H. This is on a 16 count French lace. I'm using DMC, and it also needs to be evened up because the goal is 2,000, and I have completed 243 stitches, and I still have 1,757 left to go. So maybe I'll work on this one today or next week. I don't know. If I worked on it next week, I might be able to get it close to a finish. That would be nice. I'm trying to think of what else I have in here that I want to get finished. No, I don't want to look on that one. That one I'm taking out. Spooky. Spooky. Oh. Here's another one that I want to get finished. Yes. This is the Autumn Acorns by the Blue Flower. And I started this one on March 2nd, 2025, so it's been around for a year as of Monday. I'm using a 18 count cream and sugar, using the DNC conversion. This one also needs to get evened out. My goal is 1,500, so it's on to a finish. I have completed 1,686 stitches, and this is where I'm at. So, we just have a few more acorns to do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 left to do. I still need to fill in the middles of them, which I will do. And then I have some greenery that I need to finish in this corner, bottom corner, and the other bottom corner, and then finish the quilt star. And once I get this one done, I am going to start the Blue Flowers Autumn Squirrel. Now I'm hoping that I can get the winter acorns and the winter squirrel, the spring acorns and the spring squirrel. So I do have the Halloween squirrel and the Halloween acorns. So I'm gonna have to look that up on 123 Stitch. Or even go to the Blue Flower website. Definitely wanna, and I'm doing this on the same cream and sugar, hopefully. So there is a few things that I'd like to do. I think there may be one. Oh yeah. Some people have decided that March is Manning March, which is fun. So I'd like to get a few stitches in on My Night Before Christmas by Carolyn Manning. Some of this floss I may have to get rid of because it's terrible. I started this on November 4th, 2024, so it's a year old. It's over a year old. And I'm doing it on an 18 count white Aida using the called for DMC. Where it's paper pattern, my goal is 3,000. I have completed 1,653, so this also needs a good evening job. And here it is. So, I don't know, we'll see. I would like to get this done though. It has special meaning for me, so not because of the nightmare before Christmas, but because the day before Christmas is my birthday. So yeah. Nothing there. This one might get some work because I did it for the Laura's Stitching by the Shores whip workout connections. So this was Fox in the Forest. And I have a lot of filling I need to do on this one. And I also have to even it up. So my goal is 5,000 stitches. The stitches needed to, the amount of stitches to finish this is 50,176, and I am at 1,910, and that puts me at 3.81%. I did use this for a weekly focus, I think in November, and that's what I have. So, like I said, I've got a lot of fill-in to do, especially over here, in here, this here. So, I think that'll be my confetti hell for the week if I decide to do it for a week. No. But those are just a few things that, a few ideas. Whether I get to them or not is a completely different story. But those are definitely a few ideas that I have going on in my head. Oh, and this one definitely. This is going to be my March 13th stitching. Picture of it. Hold on. In fact, I'm hoping to pull this out every month on the 13th. Maybe even a couple times before that. Why? I don't know what it is about this particular one that has me so... Because I'm not a big fan of Stephen King. And I'm not a big fan of horror movies. The only horror movies what I consider to be horror movies and what other people consider to be horror movies is a lot of people like the 80s slasher type thing. Well, not me. I watched a very bad version of Edgar Allan Poe's Raven with John Cusack on Prime. Ugh. I watched Maximum Overdrive, which is Stephen King book. Dolores Claiborne, Stephen King book. Christine, Stephen King book. I did watch a version of Frankenstein, two versions of Frankenstein. One with Daniel Radcliffe and the other one I'm not quite sure. But other than that, I watched The Mummy with Tom Cruise. I watched The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. They were okay. I've watched Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp, which was I watched From Hell with Johnny Depp, which was about Jack the Ripper. You know, those kind of things I consider my type of horror movie. Am I lost here for too much chatting? Yes. Sorry about that. Oh, there it is. This is The Clown, Pennywise. This is by Testline Arts on Etsy. I want to try to get the letters completed. Okay. This is Pennywise by Testline Art. I started this on restarted it on February 12th, 2026. I'm stitching it on an 18 count Glacier Gray. And I'm using the called for floss. And I have to even this one up too. My goal is 5,000. There is 31,021 stitches. I have completed 440 and I am at 1.42%. And I don't normally park. So it's going to take me a little bit to figure out where these ones are going. So there we are. I got T and part of the H done. So what I'm trying to do is get the other part of the H done and then fill in black. And then put the E in, fill in black where it's needed. Get the C in, same idea, L-O-W-N. And then there is the word Pennywise, I think, starts right about here, between the H and the E. And that's, you know, and then I can move on down. So I'm kind of doing it in like the typewriter method by stitching mommy, but not quite. So there's that one. I mean, like I said, I'm not a big horror person, but for some reason, something about this just hit me, and I have no idea why. So dark 13 stitching is this. Okay, other than that, I'm pretty much done. I hope everybody has a wonderful stitchy weekend. Hopefully that there will be no more snow for us after today. I mean, it's stopped now, but it was really nasty when I got up. So, they had called for a 2-hour delay, but then they changed their mind and called the day off, so she has a snow day. I don't know how late she's going to be going this summer, but it is what it is, right? So hopefully everybody has a wonderful weekend and has a wonderful stitchy week. I'd like to say welcome back to the Crow Stitcher. They were off for a while because of issues. I can understand those because I kind of went through the same thing with the doctor. So I understand that. Also, I have been binging. I watched maybe one or two for the past week or two of the 310 Jade, the 310 Stitcher. Her full coverages are amazing, and that's basically all she does. Every once in a while, you know, she sneaks in a non-full coverage, but 95% of her stitching is full coverage, and she's doing one that has the Colosseum, the Roman Colosseum. She has Dragons of the Sabbat, not the pain-free crafts version, the one that got retired. And then there is she's doing Home Sweet Home, which is the cutest elderly couple in bed together with their dog and their cat on top of the quilt, you know, and it's so cute. It's beautiful. And there's a few others that she's doing. But yeah. So if you get a chance, check her out. She's from Canada. And, you know, she knits, she crochets, she spins fiber to turn it into yarn that she can knit or crochet with, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, she's really cool. So, if you have any questions, please comment down below, or you can get in touch with me at all lowercase tammy.stitches on Instagram, or if you can find my Facebook group, it's Tammy Stitches. So, I hope everybody has a great week, have a great stitchy week, have a great stitchy weekend, and keep on stitching on, y'all.